pleased to join you this second triennial meeting of the Nigeria Inter-Religious Council, Nirec, holding in Abuja. I consider it necessary to join my voice with others in welcoming Your Excellencies, Your Eminences, our Reverend Fathers, religious leaders, other esteemed members of the Nirec, in particularly my predecessor in office, who is the guest speaker for today. You have already listened to his seminar presentation. I also consider it critical to begin this address by conveying the message of His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to you all. He has mandated me to inform you that the work of this special gathering has continued to contribute to peace, stability, and continuing existence of this country. And he remains grateful for your resilience, commitment, sacrifice, and patriotism. Furthermore, he said he looks forward to an opportune time when he would participate in your deliberations. The third message is that given the improving economy due to the impact of the reforms of this administration, the Nirec will be well resourced so that your activities would be executed seamlessly going forward. The theme for this meeting, promoting peace through collaboration, the role of inter-religious councils and government in Nigeria, is quite appropriate because it addresses our current national situation. Over the past 6 months, Nigeria has been under enormous stress, occasioned by internal security situation, heightened political rhetorics, degraded mutual trust, which was almost ebbing into religious conflict. Nigeria similarly came under international pressure for the wrong reasons, orchestrated by mischaracterization of our situation. Truth be told, this is a critical time in our nation's history. From previous incidents in Yawata in Benue to recent ones in Ruku State to others that occurred in different parts of Kebbi, Niger, and Zamfara states, the nation painfully endured. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu sympathized with the victims of these criminal activities and personally led the process for the rescue of the victims and for the arrest of those perpetuating such criminal activities. Government therefore wishes to assure all Nigerians that it will never relent in ensuring that its mandate of welfare and security of citizens as enshrined in the Constitution shall be pursued vigorously and delivered. In the midst of these challenges, we must remind ourselves as leaders of faith, as traditional rulers, and as voices of reason, with influence in the society. But despite the trials that affect us, Nigeria remains a strong, united and sovereign nation. We have survived past crises, including a grueling civil war, and emerged with a renewed commitment to unity in diversity. Our independence and sovereignty are non-negotiable, and we cannot allow terror or division to sink the ship of state. It is precisely at times like this that Nirec and indeed all women-in Nigerians must come together to promote peace through collaboration. We believe that the seeds of peace and understanding lie within the very fabric of our religious traditional institutions. This is where interreligious councils play a pivotal role in healing divides and fostering unity in our diverse communities. Nigeria is a nation rich in culture and faith. Yet too often, we are challenged by social and religious tensions that threaten our collective harmony. However, these challenges can become strengths if we address them correctly. Interreligious Council, Nirec in particular, offer a bridge across the divides of faith. I'm proud to know that Nirec, founded in 1999, has a long tradition of partnership with the federal government through the office of the Secretary Government of the Federation. For over 2 decades, Council has worked hand in hand with government to ensure that religious harmony remains a national priority. I am glad to continue this tradition of cooperation and reaffirm that the government stands ready to collaborate even more closely in the pursuit of peace and unity. You are all aware that Nigeria was designated country of particular concern, CPC, by the government of the United States of America. This has triggered a flurry of diplomatic and other critical activities aimed at addressing the narrative due to wrong perception about our situation. Much success has been recorded, but much more work needs to be done on the short, medium, and long-term basis. However, the most worrisome part, which we expect Council to address, is the erosion of mutual trust among adherents of different faiths, as reflected in views expressed and the tone of such rhetorics. Having identified this as a weak link, government expects Council as committed leaders of faith share this meeting frankly discuss as a critical agenda item and take steps that will help to draw back lost mileage in the area of eroded trust, unity, peaceful coexistence, and collaboration. The President looks forward to workable recommendations on this charge, among other outcomes from this meeting. Specifically, I find it necessary to mention the narrative on genocide and the lack of contextualization in it. The nature of violence in Nigeria has been viewed from the lenses of religion against one group or the other. Government pleads for caution in this regard. Admittedly, Christian community in parts of our country have suffered attacks, but so have Muslim communities. Council's leadership has rightly pointed out that both Christians and Muslims have been victims of massacres in Nigeria. Independent analysis also confirmed this position that Boko Haram and related insurgencies killed many people since 2009. Likewise, in the banditry-ravaged Northwest, citizens of Islamic faith have often been the primary victims of killings and kidnappings, while in parts of the North Central, many victims of communal violence have been Christians, often farmers attacked in resource conflict. Contextually, Nigeria is impacted by a global regional phenomenon, and we must address these challenges at every level. The point is not to engage in a gruesome scorecard, but to underscore that violence in Nigeria is not monolithic or one-sided. Both major faith groups bleed when any Nigerian is killed. Thus, as an interfaith approach to peace is not only ideal but necessary because it recognizes our shared humanity and builds mutual trust. A united front is essential for healing the wounds in our society and preventing the escalation of distrust along religious lines. The foregoing brings me into the significance of religious councils across board. Inter-religious councils serve as vital bridges between communities, comprised of esteemed leaders from various religious affiliations, Christianity, Islam, and other indigenous traditions. These councils are uniquely positioned to foster dialogue, and this council has been in the forefront of that. Dispel misconceptions and build compassion among different faith groups. The Nigerian Interreligious Council in particular exemplifies this mission. According to Nirec founding constitution, the objectives of such a council include mutual understanding through dialogue, sustainable channels of communication, promotion of shared values, unity and welfare of citizens. Council and similar councils exist to foster honest dialogue, to inculcate tolerance and coexistence, and to ensure that misconceptions or friction between faiths can be resolved peacefully on the basis of genuine understanding and brotherhood. When misconceptions are cleared and trust is built, it becomes far more difficult for extremists or hate mongers to poison our communities. This role played by interreligious bodies in strengthening the social fabric cannot be overstated. Collaboration with government is a key solution to some of the challenges, and interreligious councils serve as a vehicle for achieving this. By engaging with interfaith councils like Nirec, the government can ensure that policies and actions remain inclusive, taking into cognizance the country's rich diversity. Collaboration between government and religious council can take many productive forms, including 1. Inclusive policy formulation, 2. Conflict mediation and early warning, 3. Joint peace-building initiatives, and 4. Promoting the rule of law and justice. Beyond the foregoing, both the government and interreligious councils must prioritize education and enlightenment as a long-term strategy. As you are aware, peaceful coexistence is best secured by shaping hearts and minds, especially of the young people. This administration will continue to support such efforts and also clamp down on those who use the airwaves or internet to spread negative narratives. My speech here will not be complete if I fail to mention the importance of our sovereignty and peaceful coexistence. I want to particularly emphasize that in all circumstances, Nigeria's sovereignty and unity must be upheld. We welcome partnerships and international support, but Nigerians must work out Nigerian solutions in line with our national interest. We welcome support from our allies in our determined efforts at national renewal. Nigeria is a proud member of the international community, and we always cooperate with friends and allies to improve security and human rights. We are Nigerians of over 200 million people in population, Muslims and Christians alike, and we are fully capable of and committed to resolving our differences peacefully. The government once again pledges to safeguard every community of whatever religious persuasion, because every Nigerian life is sacred, and because protecting our people is a fundamental obligation of our Constitution. We also cherish peaceful coexistence as the core tenet of our sovereignty and our normal legal norms and our faith. In conclusions, Your Eminences, distinguished members, collaboration between interreligious council and the government is not just beneficial, it is crucial for building the peaceful and prosperous Nigeria we all desire. We are confronted by immense challenges, but we also have an immense reservoir of goodwill and faith to draw upon. Together, we truly can transform our current trials into stepping stones towards a stronger nation. On the part of the federal government, there is a recommitment to this partnership for peace, unity, and stability. As a demonstration of this commitment, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR has constituted a new U.S.-Nigeria Joint Working Group on Security, and it is anticipated that our esteemed religious leaders, especially from this council, will play crucial roles in the work of this and other similar councils. The fight for peace is not only kinetic, it involves intense non-kinetic activities that shape our minds and the society. As we go into the closed session, let us keep our minds open, be frank and flexible on our positions and thoughts. Let us resolve to reject the voices of division by upholding the values of justice, compassion, and unity. Let us resolve that Nigeria will be stronger, better, and enjoy lasting peace. Let us collectively shame embers of pockets of hate and disunity. Thank you for listening. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Once again, I want to stand before you to wish you happy Christmas and, of course, to declare this session.
Thank you so much.